You look good. Your hair is especially.
I'm feeling suave, but I think it's the Ferrari, not my... Wait, hold on. I think it's the Ferrari, not myself. Hey, this is Chris from The Verge. I'm here sitting in the passenger seat to my pilot, Jordan Golson, transportation reporter at The Verge.
Yes, and good to be here. Day 7.
No, day 43 of CES 2016. But we're finishing it off on a high note.
Yes, very high.
A Ferrari California T with a price of what?
This model is $275,000.
$275,000.
Loaded with options. This particular one is brand new, 345 miles.
That's like, I mean, and this car came from LA, which is like
it did
something miles. I mean, I guess they didn't drive it, but
it did. I have to drive in LA, not LA. I have to drive in Vegas traffic, which is
less than fun.
What? No, I think we'll be all right today. Normally, it's less than. We don't have to go anywhere.
I'm so sorry you have to drive a Ferrari in Vegas traffic.
I know it's been rough.
I'm so sorry.
It's not that bad.
Could be worse.
Basically, in Vegas, that's what you do. You cruise the Strip. Miami, you cruise Miami Beach.
Yep.
Here, you cruise the Strip.
You cruise the Strip. Really, what else is there to do in Vegas besides gamble and cruise the Strip? So let's talk about the highs and lows of the show.
Yes.
We
had both.
Stuff here. A lot of both. And as we keep saying over and over again, this really is becoming an automotive show, right?
Yes, cars, electronic show.
Cars.
And that was, I don't think it's been more true than this year.
Trucks, yeah. And of course, it always revolves around 3 themes. There's connected car, there's autonomous driving, and there's electrification, and we hit on all 3 of those notes. So we get here, Faraday Future, hyped event. This is the mysterious car company. We didn't know where they were getting their money.
Now we do.
Now we do.
That was the only news.
So they brought us to this event that was remote from the rest of CES.
Yes, long way away.
To unveil this car that is nothing really. I mean, it's
a design exercise.
It's a design exercise.
It's like,
that's a good way of putting
it's like when a kid goes to automotive design school, they have a senior project.
Yes.
And that's their senior project.
Yep.
And apparently, when you are a world famous designer, after making gorgeous supercars, you continue making senior projects. The money is real. The car, as far as we know,
is not.
Well,
that 501 isn't anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a real car somewhere.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then the next day, Ford had some announcements, right?
Yes. Ford had their press conference in the morning, right? 7:30 a.m. Thank you, Ford. We appreciate that, guys.
And they announced that they are tripling the size of their autonomous research fleet this year from 10 to 30 cars.
Yep.
They claim it'll make them the largest, they'll have the largest autonomous research fleet of any automaker.
Yes,
and you'll know
automaker.
Right. They very specifically said automaker because Google has a few more cars than that. I think Google has 50.
Yeah, something like that between California and Texas.
Right. Oh, they announced support for CarPlay and Android Auto. Finally,
yes, that's good. Took you considering the history of Ford's infotainment system, it was about time.
Yeah.
The Microsoft Sync was not the best effort.
Yeah, the pothole-filled road to CarPlay and Android Auto.
But we have moved on.
We've moved on.
We've moved on to other bigger and better, and now we've got CarPlay. So okay, that's good. We're looking forward to that.
And you wrote about this. They're adding, or they're experimenting with Amazon Echo. So,
yes, they have ideas for the future of connected cars.
Yes.
And they said they had things that they were working on, but they weren't ready to release yet. And one of those was connecting to Amazon Echo, and so you could do things like in your house, tell your Amazon Echo to start your car. So if you want to get it warmed up in the wintertime,
right?
Or tell me the range of my car, which is important for electric cars. You know, how much charge does it have? Ford did not announce something that was rumored. Ford did not announce.
Yes.
Ford did not announce that they would be building cars with Google. Yes. Which had been heavily rumored and supposedly well-sourced. And oh my goodness, this is coming. This is going to be the big news of CES. Google and Ford are going to build cars together, and nothing.
Not a single thing.
Not a word.
So Ford happened, and then GM was the next day.
Yes. Yes.
GM blew it out here.
Yeah, star of the show.
GM
And the crazy thing about that is that we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming.
We knew what they were going to launch.
We knew what they were going to launch. So GM showed the production version of the Chevy Bolt, which debuted as a concept car at the Detroit Auto Show last year.
Yes. So 9 months later, or 10 months later, whatever.
Yeah, actually close to 12. It's like 51 weeks.
That's true, yes.
So they showed the production version of the Bolt, which is, let me give you a rundown of the basics. It's a small EV with a promised 200 plus mile range for around $30,000 after tax breaks.
Yes, federal tax breaks.
After federal tax breaks.
Your state may have more.
Your state may have more.
But around 30 grand.
And the reason that's a big deal is because the only high-range EVs, the EVs that come within an approximate range of a gas car, are really expensive.
Yes, and there's really one.
Tesla.
There's Tesla.
So,
yes, your car is lovely.
And yeah.
So thank you.
It's going to be very difficult to record a show with people revving.
We're the annoying guy in Fast and the Furious.
We are the annoying guy in Fast
Ferrari.
and Furious. Yeah.
Only we're not going to race them because
we have better things.
It's
to
the
do
strip,
with our lives.
and where are you going to go? I'm going to get to the red light faster than you. No, we're not going to do that.
Drag racing on the strip, going full Tokyo Drift on the strip right now would be extraordinarily difficult.
4 a.m. maybe.
4 a.m. maybe.
Now, no.
We'll bring it back out. Anyway, so the Bolt.
Yes, we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming. I had a chance to drive it briefly on a closed course. Before it was announced.
Because you're a baller.
Because I'm a baller. Yes, that's correct.
And you drove it, and what did you think?
I drove it, and the way I put it in my article, and I believe this to be true, is that it is very unremarkable, and that's a good thing. It doesn't stand out in any way. It's just,
other than seeming like a solid car.
It's a solid car. It's a practical car, and that's what the EV industry needs right now: is a car that can say, "Hey, we can be your primary car." Like, this is a livable vehicle.
Yeah. To make a comparison, it's like Corolla-esque in its boringness.
Yeah.
Which is fine because Toyota sells a boatload of Corollas,
right?
And they're a great car, and so that's pretty high praise, I think.
Right.
And we'll see if it arrives as claimed.
That's right.
But I think they're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
I drove it as well, and I agree. It's it's perfectly adequate.
Perfectly. That's a good way of putting it.
And if it goes 200 miles for a lot of people, that's going to be way better than 85 miles you get in the Leaf.
Or the E-Golf.
Any of those cars, and fine.
And the infotainment system is unique to the Bolt.
Yes.
It's made by LG.
They're very proud of it.
On behalf of GM, and I think it's really good. I think it's better than any infotainment system GM's ever made. That's not saying a lot, but it's pretty good. And it supports CarPlay and Android Auto.
I found the classic rock road trip playlist.
Oh no. Oh no.
So after GM, I think we have BMW.
BMW,
also
yes.
Had a busy CES.
BMW had a busy CES. BMW really likes CES. They've been coming out here for years. They've done some wacky stuff here. They did the self-drifting car a couple years ago.
I'm so disappointed that I missed that.
Oh, it was so much fun. They last year they did the self-parking i3 and the collision avoidance i3, and then this year you had a chance to demo it.
Yes.
They had what they called the iVision Future Interaction concept, which is an i8 Spider.
Yes.
It's a car that doesn't exist, by the way. You can't buy one. They took an i8 Spider and did a bunch of crazy stuff in the dashboard.
Yes, they did. The last couple years of CES, and really of car shows in general, have been car companies talking about how autonomous cars are going to be here real soon now. Mm-hmm. And it seems that this is actually true now. And so what car companies are doing is thinking about, rather than the technology to make the car drive itself, it's now focused on the driver. What you're going to do while the car is ferrying you down the highway.
Right. All right.
Okay, so it has this thing called AirTouch, which is sort of like it's an iPad, but instead of touching the screen, you just sort of wave your hand around like you are touching an iPad. Pretend there's an iPad, and you can swipe back and forth, you can sort of move up and down, and then there's a button on the steering wheel that you press to make selections. So it's their vision for what you might do, and it's a concept. They may or may not make it, but it's pretty neat, and it's nice to see them thinking outside the box. And what I'm most excited about this feature is that it means that autonomous cars really are close.
And so did the system feel like natural to you? Was it easy to use?
Yeah, so there were two ways to use it. One, there was a line of cameras, tiny cameras running around the edge of the dash, and you could wave your hand in front of it and it would see you. And you could do that. Or down in the center console where the iDrive would be on a standard BMW, you could wave your hand magically over the leather armrest, and there were sensors in it, and it would notice that your hand was moving around, and you could swipe back and forth with that. And I suspect that's the one that'll make it to the production car. And the AirTouch, it's cool, but it's a little gimmicky, and I'm not a huge fan of holding your hand up in the air and doing things.
Right.
But if you keep it down there and use it, that's a little bit more natural, and probably where they're going to end up.
And I should point out that last year, BMW also previewed the gesture control system that ended up in the 7 Series that they launched later in 2015.
Yes.
So
and later this year, I believe we're supposed to be getting a new 5 Series.
New 5 Series.
So maybe we'll see something like that.
Yeah, I think it's all coming together. Definitely got a little loose there.
Had to do that at least once. It is in sport mode, which I'm sure has some great name in Italian.
And then somewhere around that point in the week, it all became a blur.
Yes.
Because we were getting 4 hours.
No, you know what we have? And what we still have
What's that?
is VDub.
Oh, VDub.
We got VDub.
We didn't talk about VDub.
We got VDub with the buddy.
Yeah.
Chris, will you be my buddy?
Oh, I will be your buddy.
You know what won't be my buddy? I'm sorry, is the buddy. I like the look, but it's a little too Kia Soul for me.
Oh,
and the interior, the interior is a little too much. I understand it's a concept, but it doesn't do it for me.
There kind of is no interior. It's like, it's very concept.
They've got a big screen thing, which, okay, fine, I'm sure that's the future. Big screens in cars, as Tesla has proven.
Yep.
Big screens in cars are the future. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that car. They sure made a big deal out of it.
They made a very big deal out of it.
And you know what? And the press responded.
The press responded.
So, it had cool stuff. From my vantage point, when I was doing our VW Live blog, I could see the front of the car, which has LED lights on it, and they made it look like a slot machine.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely a feature that should never come to a production vehicle.
Definitely not Department of Transportation approved.
No, I don't think so, and definitely completely distracting.
Yeah.
But
still cool.
It's cool. As a concept, it was great.
Yep.
But, don't.
So, but some
that's
background.
Okay. Buddy's cool.
Let's talk background about the Buddy. It was teased before CES as being a new electric long-range concept for Volkswagen.
Yes.
There were rumors flying that it was a microbus throwback, and indeed it is. However,
it's inspired by
the microbus, and I would argue that it, I'm not a microbus fanatic personally, so I can't speak to it that much. But I just didn't get a lot of microbus vibe from it.
No, it's the microbus. The whole point of the microbus, you could live in it.
Yeah.
You could pop the top and camp and have your grill and have your, hippie girls in bikinis hanging out by the beach or the lake or wherever. And this one doesn't have that. This is as they call it, the social car.
It's the social car,
which is basically
it's your buddy.
Yeah, it's your buddy. It's basically an excuse to use some buzzwords, I think. So I don't know. I'm not sure what they were doing there, but that's okay. Thanks for watching. That's been our CES 2016 wrap-up live from the Ferrari California T on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm Jordan Golson.
I'm Chris Ziegler. And
to get more on CES, visit theverge.com or subscribe to us for more awesome videos like this at youtube.com/theverge. The life of TV. This is basically what Jeremy Clarkson deals with all day. I can see why He
after-
punched his
yeah.
producer. I wouldn't punch any of those guys except Max.
Except Max.